ці руки, тому що я щойно побачила, як летить ракета. І я почула це.
So I'm going to bring in Alex now, who's our source. Alex, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your time today. I know you're busy.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So thank you for coming on. We played a clip in the beginning that showed some executions of Ukrainian deserters by Ukrainian soldiers. Not a good scene to watch, but that's what's going on in the ground. And we still have the mobilization bounty hunter, snatching old men and boys off the street. Tell us what's happening in Kyiv in the mobilization respect, please.
My contacts in Kyiv and near Kyiv tell me that there's the enforcement of mobilization efforts, block posts everywhere, and there are private bounty hunters on the streets catching people. Just yesterday, there was a internal revolt in the detention jail by these private bounty hunters. And people who were caught on the streets, they started a revolt in the jail. And then the police and the special forces in this private bounty hunters jail just kicked people on the ground in this jail. I mean, I know where this jail is located. It's located in Kyiv, just in the district that I used to live. It is ridiculous. I'm awaiting more revolts like this. My friends who are still in Kyiv, they're afraid to go out of the buildings, and they tell me that they cannot even go to the pharmacy. I mean, they tell me that the private bounty hunters are on the streets, and they cannot call a courier to deliver drugs from the pharmacy, because my friend simply told me that if I call a courier to deliver drugs to me, they will catch a courier and they will catch me in my house. I mean, the private bounty hunters obtained a permission from Zelensky and forces above, so they can kick into private property, into houses and apartments. Wow. So this is going on right now.
So most people don't realize that, and you've informed us of this, that this is, as you said, private bounty hunters, and the people that they catch are not put, as I understand, in the Ukrainian regular forces. They're put into private military formations. Is that correct?
Well, they're given the choice whether they can join a private military formation. I mean, like private, and they're given the choice to join the paramilitary government-sponsored formations that are based on the legal paperwork. There can be called Army of Ukraine, but in reality, those formations as Army of Ukraine, they consist of a lot of voluntary paramilitary units. So then the people who are caught on the street, they are given the choice whether they can sign papers voluntarily. So if people sign papers voluntarily, they're put into the voluntary private military formations, paramilitary formations. And the trick that is used by this private military formation is that if those people who have signed the papers voluntarily, they get killed or they get wounded, if they lose their limbs, the government of Ukraine will not pay anything, and if they get killed, the family will not get 15 million hryvnias.
Wow.
They were volunteers in the paramilitary private military formations, and they signed the fake contracts with basically paramilitary formations, and they are illegal condottiers. They are not legal government soldiers.
Wow. So that must be horrific, because that must be happening all over the country where people
It's
get
all
maimed,
over.
killed or whatever. So we had Trump talk to President Putin after the Ukrainian strikes on Russian airfields, and Trump came out and said there will be no peace in the short term, and we're waiting for Russia to respond. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, yesterday I found additional information on the financing that came from European Union. Billions of dollars will be fed into Ukrainian agonizing state by European Union states. Putin, just 2 days ago, Putin was on the speech in the morning, and Putin said that the regime of Ukraine is a terroristic organization, and Russian Federation will not conduct any negotiation with any terrorists. So that's why, I mean, I think the rounds of the peace negotiations are over, and both enemies, I mean, Ukraine as a proxy from European Union countries and Russia, they will continue to fight on the grounds of Ukraine, because it's a proxy war of Russian Federation and deep state of Russia against the states of European Union and the puppet masters of the European Union.
Yeah. Do you think the United States will pull out more? I saw that Trump moved anti-drone technologies from Ukraine this morning to the Middle East for American forces. I think the U.S. is really trying to focus on Pacific and possible war with Iran, and kind of move out of this Ukrainian sphere. Is that the way you see it from your end?
What I saw and what has been discussed in Kyiv is that there are rumors that the auditors from the United States came to Kyiv, and they're already conducting internal audit of Ministry of Defense and trying to locate some fraud. And what I see and what I understand is that the United States have not sent any additional ammunition or military equipment to Ukraine in the last approximately 6 months. So that means that the military support is limited. I do not see and I do not observe any airplanes from the United States flying to Rzeszów in Poland, and I do not see any rumors telling us that there's the continuing military support. So I think that they continue to provide some intelligence support. I mean, the photos, the radio surveillance, surveillance support, but there is no ground support and there is no equipment support.
Yeah. Zelensky came out this morning and said, he did the big strike on Russian airfields, and now he says he wants a ceasefire until the leaders meet. I mean, it's like a kid on the playground kicking you and then saying, running to the teacher and say, "Don't kick me back." What's the status with Zelensky in the country? He's illegitimate, we think, and I think you would agree to that. But we've heard rumors of elections. I mean, what's the status of him in country at this point?
Well, the status is illegal. So I consulted with the lawyers, and I made legal research and constitutional research myself. I downloaded the articles of the Constitution and articles of the Criminal Code and articles of elections. Zelensky is illegitimate. Верховна Rada, the parliament, is illegitimate, and the cabinet of ministers is illegitimate. So according to the constitutional articles, the system is illegitimate.
Yeah.
However, they utilizing the trick of paramilitary state of the country in war. They're not accepting the war as a legal war. The actual war status has not been declared. So according to this little legal clause that lawyers of Zelensky keep utilizing in order to prolong paramilitary status every 3 months.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
We recommend you take this moment to do what we're about to do, which is enjoy an Alp.
Zelensky claims, and the lawyers of Zelensky declare that until this paramilitary status is over, he continues to be an executioner of the post of the president. So this is the declaration of this legalist language that they used in order to prove that he can continue act as a president. So that's the status. And in reality, the only legal legitimate body of the government in Ukraine is the Constitutional Court. However, their terms will also run out soon, and it will be the game over.
Yeah. So we have some Americans in Kyiv. You have Mike Pompeo, Lindsey Graham, Richard Denang, Dick Blumenthal over there literally hours before the strike on Russia. Obviously, they were involved. Obviously, Pompeo's been involved in that because he's talking about bad things are going to happen to Russia and we're going to win. It seems to me like the deep state in the U.S. is running a war using American forces against Russia without the commander-in-chiefs of the United States military's involvement. What say you to that view of the world?
Well, Mike Pompeo is a private citizen, right? His current status, he's a private citizen.
Yeah.
And if he is involved in the war, and if he's given any commands and participating in the paramilitary formations, so paramilitary organizations on the grounds of another supposedly sovereign country, then Mike Pompeo is committing a crime as a citizen, right? Isn't it like this?
Well, I don't know I'm not a legal authority for U.S. law, but there is the Logan Act where you can't go over to another country and interfere with the foreign policy of the president. So I think that's maybe what you're speaking of.
Well, I'm not a legal attorney, anyways, but I think that all those people who come to the United States as not representatives of the United States government and continue to communicate with illegitimate representatives of illegitimate government of Ukraine. I mean, whole the situation is illegitimate. As for me, I'm trying to be really rational and logical here because I try to. I try to be in the legal territory, and I want to be in the legal field of all this analysis.
Yes.
And then speaking about the case with Senator Graham, I read the news that his travels to Ukraine cost the United States government $25 million, because every time he travels to Hilton Hotel in Shevchenko Boulevard in Ukraine, they book Hilton Hotel for $800,000 for 1 week.
Well, it was for 2 nights. Yeah.
Well, I found information that he traveled to Ukraine 9 times.
Yes.
So $25 million. I mean, what kind of purpose is that to travel to Kyiv and spend $25 million of US taxpayers' money.
Well, everybody knows the entertainment in Kiev is first class, so that may be part of it. But it's also money laundering, I think. Would you agree? I mean, he's paying off somebody. Somebody's getting money for something.
Well, I think the hotel rooms in Hilton Penthouse are the best for $25 million for 9 visits. What kind of penthouse is that?
Yes, yes, yes. Who knows what's in the penthouse, right?
Yes, exactly.
Last question. What any thoughts on where Putin will strike? I mean, my thinking is he will try to decapitate the government. I mean, he can try to kill Zelensky, but I'm sure he's very protected underground. I don't know if Russia has the ability to do that besides a nuclear weapon. Any thoughts on what this retaliation might look like?
Well, Zelensky is not on Bankova Street. I have spoken to a couple of my friends who were the video designers, and they can distinguish how the green screen can operate in video design. So Zelensky has not been filming his speeches in Bankova in his cabinet for many months. So he's utilizing the green screen technology and AI to make all those 5-10 minutes addresses that he posts on his Telegram accounts, and so that's why, I mean, the Russian Federation can strike some buildings in the center of Kyiv, but there are no people who are decision makers there, so it is worthless. I mean, the Russian Federation can possibly strike, let's say, the office or the building of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, which is also in the center of Kyiv, or the office of the intelligence unit of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. But again, they will be notified, and people will get out of those buildings prior to the strikes. So that means that Russian Federation will strike, and the strike will be really evil and awful. It will be cold, but it will be asymmetric. It will not be for the buildings of the decision makers, but it will be something else.
Like bridges or power stations or what?
Bridges. There were so many rumors on hitting the bridges 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 1 year ago. I mean, if Russians wanted to hit the bridges, they could have done it so many times. There is no purpose of hitting the bridges because the rumors are that they will be upcoming offensive operation from Russia, and they need bridges anyways in Kyiv or Dnipro city. So there will be some strike, but the strike will be asymmetric to the logic that everybody is discussing, or the journalists are discussing. There will be something creative. I mean, creative. There will be some creative strike on the level that hasn't been used within the last 3 years.
Maybe an Reznik strike or multiple or something of that effect. But again, I just don't know what the targets would be. I mean, it doesn't help to hit the nuclear reactors. It doesn't help to, maybe the port in Odessa destroyed, but they need the port too if they want to take Odessa. So I just don't know what else is left to hit besides buildings.
Me too. Yeah, I understand it. Well, there has to be something creative, and I think that they will take the pause, and that's what Putin said 2 days ago, that they will take the pause until the meeting of the Russian Federation Security Council, and the analysts will prepare some asymmetric creative response. But he warned Trump. Trump warned everybody in his tweet that Putin warned him that there will be a retaliation strike. So that's why there will be a strike.
Yeah. Well, Pompeo, I just remembered, also had a security clearance removed. So that's even more interesting now that I think about it. We want to focus on what he's doing over there. Alex, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your time today. Short
Yeah,
notice.
you're welcome.
All right,
Bye
take
bye.
care.